What's good? It's your boy CJ Goodfellow. We back with the boxing clinic. You dig? Shout out to everybody. We keeping it moving. And apparently the WBC is going to push Jermall Charlo to fight, Triple G, Gennady Golovkin. And I say that because they said the winner of Canelo Golovkin. Canelo is not electing to fight for the WBC belt. These guys are they in their own little world about that. He didn't do the 30-day weigh-in. He didn't do none of the WBC things leading up to the fight. He did not elect to fight for the WBC belt. They tried to sell it like he did. So they tried to order we ordering the Golovkin and Canelo rematch. Golovkin don't fuck with the WBC. So it's going to be Golovkin versus Jermall Charlo, win or lose, unless Golovkin chooses to drop the belt if he loses and move up, or just drop the belt and just not face Jermall Charlo. Now we know that Abel Sanchez said he didn't feel like Jermall Charlo earned it. He said Charlo and Triple G is a bad fight for boxing. Already ducking the man. And I hear people on my page say, "Oh, Danny Jacobs will destroy Jermall Charlo." Look here, man. Danny Jacobs been iced one time in his career, dropped two other times one time by Feather Fisted Sergio Mora. Cuba might give him a run for his money. I expect him to beat Cuba. But Danny Jacobs ain't, who y'all think he to be, man. I'm trying to tell y'all that. Golovkin is clearly on a decline because he's stepping up against upper echelon competition now. Don't overrate the guys that he's fighting. But Jermall Charlo is going to be an interim title holder if he chooses to be, and he's going to have to fight somebody in the WBC top 10, I believe, become that interim title holder. And he's kind of like a champion in weight, and that's what it is. Why Triple G and Canelo fix their thing, fix what they're going through right now, and the real winner is determined, which it doesn't matter. It's going to be Triple G unless he drops the belt. But it's the same thing going on with Keith Thurman when they want to try to do the Sean Porter, Danny Garcia for the interim. It didn't work out because Danny Garcia didn't want to do it. Triple G went through it for Canelo with Cotto. When Cotto had the belt, then Canelo had the belt. He was the interim champion and waiting. So he's going to have a fight, Jermall Charlo, for that. And, David Lemieux's up there. Danny Jacobs up there. Of course, those two are going to be tied up. David Lemieux is rumored to fight Cotto. He did turn down David Lemieux for a title fight, so Cotto must be imminent. Danny Jacobs is fighting Luis Cuba. Apparently, Team Jacobs don't want no part of Jermall Charlo. And I understand why, because he get his ass knocked out. Some other guys up there. Hugo Centennial Jr., who basically quit versus J-Rock, so he ain't a good barometer test. But, Curtis Stevens in the top 10. That's a good test to see Jermall Charlo's chin, but he just came off a devastating knockout versus David Lemieux. I don't think he's going to be back for a while. So these are the guys, the most prominent guys in the top 10. Bottom left is Matt Korobov. You might see him get stretched by Andy Lee. He's a guy that was trying to gun for Golovkin. Telling everybody here he can whoop Golovkin up. He's been fighting at 168, between 168 and 160, because he ranked up in both. Be a solid fight for Charlo. Andy Lee did stop him. He's back on the comeback trail. I'm pretty sure he had like 4 or 5 fights since losing to Andy Lee. I didn't look at the box rec. Andy Lee is there as well. I don't know where the fuck Andy Lee's been. Emmanuel Stewart's protege. He's supposed to be the next best thing, and it didn't really work out that way. I think Brian Vera stopped him on ESPN Friday Night Fights, and then he came back. He lost to Chavez Jr. He lost to Billy Joe Saunders. That'd be a solid fight for Charlo. Andy Lee ain't no slouch. He gave Peter Quillen a run for his money. And then he got beat by Billy Joe Saunders, I believe. Was his Antoine Douglas? Got beat by Kurtzik. Got fucking destroyed. He got knocked out in the 10th round. Couldn't handle it. That little guy's like 5'6". This dude Douglas is like 6 foot. Big middleweight, still young. I don't think he's ready for a guy like Jermall Charlo. That ain't the type of fight I would want to see. Then you got this guy, Sergey Janjanic. He's up and comer. He just knocked out. Did he knock out? Or I don't think he knocked out Torian, the Torian guy. He's the mandatory for the IBF. So I don't think he gives a shit about being the mandatory for the WBC right now, because it'll come. So for me, the best fight here, I know for the fans, some people think Antoine Douglas, but it's hard to get a barometer on that with him, because he's still up and coming. I don't think he needs this fight right now, just to be honest. It'll have to be Corey Bob and Andy Lee. I think Andy Lee is a name. Most people don't know about Corey Bob. He had his moments on HBO. You know, he got good power. He's a good boxer. He was up, you know, he was one of the top boxers over there in Europe with Triple G and them. You know, he can pop. I think Andy Lee might have caught him with the perfect shot. He's still on the comeback trail. I haven't been following him since. And I think, you know, he's a good, tough guy to fight Jermall Charlo. I think that's the ideal fight, Corey Bob. He's a guy that's fought at 168. I don't know if he still can make 160, but he's still in the ranking, so he should be able to make 160. And he's a strong guy. He's got the European style as well that can prepare Charlo for a Golovkin fight potentially. You know, Andy Lee, he's a guy we seen go through the full watch cycle. You know, he's been beat, he's been champion, he's been down, he's been up. You know, he's a tough cookie. But we've seen him a few times, and we can use him as a barometer because we've seen him versus the top fighters before, and see how Jermall Charlo does versus him. But the ideal fight for me, for Charlo, for the interim belt, if you want to go that route, is Matt Corey Bob. I think he's not shop worn. You know, he has been stopped, but I think he's gonna be good for the comeback trail. I think he'll be a good durable opponent to give Charlo a good run for his money, prepare him for the title shot, in my opinion. Let me know what y'all think. You know, we gone.